All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jason Flame, host of the Master Motivation Podcast. Excited to bring another amazing guest who's going to provide some motivation, inspiration, and education for our day. I cannot wait. I'm super excited to have Mr. John Bandek, the Economic Development Manager for the City of Moorpark, who has been instrumental in shaping a more business-friendly and forward-thinking local economy. John built Moorpark's Economic Development Division from the ground up and has helped attract and expand more than 50 businesses across Southern California. With leadership experience spanning city government, healthcare operations, and regional economic strategy, he brings a unique, results-driven perspective to growth and resilience. A graduate of Pepperdine University, John continues to play a key role in strengthening communities through smart economic development. John, thanks for being on the show, dude.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. So excited. Thank
I
you.
am very excited, and we already have, wow, check this out. We already have comments, and we already have people watching. Let's give a quick shout out. We have Mr. Doug Spondello watching.
No
Thank
pressure.
you, Doug.
My boss that's my boss. Hey, Doug.
The pressure is on. Listen, I have to say I'm super excited to have you on because you are truly one of my favorite people to work with at the City of Moorpark. Ever since you've come onto the team, you just dove in and did so much work. But more than anything else, what I truly appreciate is you are such a giving person of your time, efforts, and talents. And it shows because I think everybody really, truly enjoys working with you.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. I enjoy working with the community too.
It's been a couple of years now, right? And I know, we've worked on several events together, different committees together, the board for the Chamber of Commerce. But again, it's just, not only do you have all these unique talents and gifts, you just have such a passion for the community. And you didn't grow up here and you don't live here, but you love Moorpark and it shows.
I do love Moorpark, and that's right. I don't live in Moorpark, and usually when it comes to local government, you have individuals that live in the cities that they work in, and that's where that passion comes from. But my passion really is supporting businesses, seeing them grow, seeing them being successful. So that drives me, regardless where I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to dive in. We'll talk a lot about, your career and what you do here in Moorpark for the City of Moorpark. But I want to learn more about the man, John Bandek. I want to learn more about your background, where you come from. You went to Pepperdine, which is a pretty prestigious school here in Southern California, not to mention the fact that it's in beautiful Malibu. So I know we got a lot to talk about there. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing, where you're originally from. Tell me some more about your background.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for having me. Happy New Year. And it's so great working with you. And I think it's a great opportunity. I don't think we've ever really dived back into my background, and I've never really shared that with people. But born and raised in Glendale, California, still live there. I do the hour drive to Moorpark almost every day. Went to Clark Magnet High School for anyone in the Glendale area. Proud Panther there. After that, I went to Glendale Community College and I transferred to Pepperdine University. My parents, many people don't know this, are business owners. So growing up, I really learned what that means, the amount of time and effort that's put into growing a business. And I think that's kind of where that passion of supporting other business owners comes from. That's right. I went to Pepperdine. I went to Pepperdine while I was working two full-time jobs, actually, both in an emergency room and at the City of Glendale. Took night classes, evening classes to get my degree, and a very driven person and ambitious. But I think all these types of experiences really define a person and really define who you are, your goals, your ambitions, what you want to be. But that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. Well, I want to know more. So, first of all, your parents, they owned a business. I think we had talked about that at one point. But tell me, what kind of business were they in, or businesses, were they entrepreneurs in different areas, or one family-owned business for a really long time?
one family-owned business downtown Los Angeles. They do jewelry manufacturing. They have a jewelry manufacturing for solid bangles. So growing up, I would see the manufacturing side, the struggles with that. They didn't really do retail, so it was really working with other business owners and how other business owners think. Still operating in downtown Los Angeles, so I still know the struggles that come with it, the successes, um, and that yeah, that's the business they're in.
Yeah, and so Glendale, over the break, in between Christmas and New Year's, our family, my wife, my daughter, my son, we like to go. We call it fancy dinner. We go somewhere. We went to Din Tai Fung, near the Galleria, right?
Yeah,
And so, dude, we're driving down Brand, and first of all, it's like stopped. Like traffic was crazy. We were just there at a bad time. I'm like, okay, well, our reservation is at, whatever time it was, and we were within like 10 or 15 minutes, and like, if you don't get in the restaurant between that 10 or 15 minutes, like they're going to
you're
give away
out.
your reservation. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I asked the girls to get out. I'm like, go ahead, get out, go sit. Mason and I will go find a place to park. 2 blocks down, it's still solid. I'm like, okay, I got to flip around and get back to the parking garage. So literally, it took almost 30 minutes for me to get back around and actually get into the restaurant. They were already eating by the time we walked in. So it was just, but I got to say, my daughter and my wife absolutely love malls and they love shopping. Luckily, we were just there for dinner and didn't have to go through the malls. But you know what? So in your experience growing up in Glendale, like, did you go to the malls a lot? Has it grown a lot? I'm sure it wasn't always like that. So tell me more about Glendale.
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations for being able to secure a Din Tai Fung reservation over the holidays. That's a big win. So take it as a win.
And great food, by the way.
Yeah,
Great food.
And it's actually a newly expanded location. They were previously at the Americana across the street. Now they expanded to the Galleria. So
Okay.
you're sitting in a barely 1 year old a restaurant there. But Glendale's changing. Like every community, I think I'm noticing the change more now that I work in Moorpark. Previously, you would live in the city and you'd always see the city. So it's really challenging to notice change. But now, whenever I drive back, and during the weekends, I get to drive and go to restaurants and explore really Glendale. I'm like, oh, that wasn't there before. Oh, that wasn't there before. So I really get
Mm-hmm.
to see the change. Whereas when you're day to day in Glendale, it's harder to see that. But the Galleria, I think, like every person in a major city, you don't really do the touristy things. You don't check out what's trending because you live there and it's just there. But the Galleria is a go-to place. I think more people go to the Americana on their free time. It's for whoever hasn't been, it's very similar to the Grove in Los Angeles. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to catch up with friends and spend time in your city and seeing it grow. I personally enjoy when I see new businesses come in.
I grew up in the Canal Valley, and the Oaks Mall was like the big, like that's where everybody went to hang out. And I just see how much, growing up in the '80s through the '90s, the 2000s, how much that mall has changed, and how much just malls and businesses are changing. A lot of places are, they're downsizing or closing up, brick and mortar because online sometimes can be easier for some businesses. But let's talk about Pepperdine a little bit. And by the way, thank you so much to everyone who's tuning in. John, you're Mr. Popular in City of Moorpark because everybody is tuning in to watch you. We have dozens of people watching us right now. So
Thank you, guys.
super excited. If you are watching this live, do me a favor, share this video so more people can hear John's story and what he has to say. And go to Master Motivation Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. I do have a goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers this year. So help me out, please. Go and subscribe. But talking about Pepperdine, listen, my wife and I love driving down to Malibu. We love the Malibu seafood is like one of our favorites. Mastro's Ocean Club is kind of our dinner spot. My wife grew up going down PCH and going to Malibu. And you'd always drive by Pepperdine. One of my favorite things is Veterans Day, Memorial Day, when all the flags are out and you see that
Oh, yeah.
beautiful lawn decorated with the American flags. What was it like? First of all, what made you decide to go to Pepperdine, and what was it like going to school down there?
I've been very thankful to go to private schools the majority of my life. I went to Clark Magnet, which was a public school, which I'm very grateful for that experience. But transferring from community college, I grew up Christian, and faith is very important for me. So Pepperdine's values is key. I majored in business management, and Pepperdine does a great job with also having classes on being ethical when it comes to business, like leading with compassion and having like strong moral values whenever you're interacting in the business community. So that was a strong component. I had a couple of friends that had previously gone and have only spoken highly of the institution. And I am very proud that I've graduated from Pepperdine. I still keep in touch with many friends that went there. And again, I mean, obviously very beautiful. Unfortunately, my classes were mainly evening classes, so I didn't really get to see it in the day, but I did have I got to see many sunsets, so that was good.
What's your favorite place to eat while you're out there?
Okay, so whenever you started talking about restaurants, I was thinking of this one sushi place, and the reason I like it, I think it's called Bui Sushi, but don't quote me on that. And what I like to do is, and this is like secret, sorry for all the residents that live behind this, but there's the Ralph's right across from Pepperdine, down Seaver Road. And if you go, there's Bui Sushi, I get a poke bowl, and then the street behind it is this private residential street with access to, okay, confirm that it is Bowie. Get a Pokeball from there, go behind that street. There is a public access to a public beach that no one knows about. It's just like this one door. You open the door, you go in, it's this public beach. And I just enjoy going there with friends. Everyone grabs a Pokeball and enjoy the view. And it's very quiet, very beautiful. It's probably going to get burnt now with everyone going there to spot, but that's what I would enjoy doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we're a little bit spoiled living here in Southern California. People always talk about, the cost of living in Southern California being, so challenging with the our home prices in Moorpark. What is our median home price is like $950 or something crazy like that. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I have family that live in other states. I have friends that live on the East Coast. And man, let me just tell you, I love living in California. The weather, it's a little cold right now for me, but like, you got the beaches close, you got Dodger Stadium, you got Disneyland, you got all the theme parks, you got all these shopping malls all over the place. So yeah, we're so fortunate to live in Southern California. We got a question coming in from YouTube. Important question of the day. Why haven't you brought Dr. Conkey's to Moorpark yet?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Are they ready to expand?
I may know who this is, but if it's not, I do want to share. We do get a caller at City Hall, and I'm not even kidding. We get a caller, and this gentleman maybe once a week calls and asks, like, "Hey, when is Dr. Conkey's coming to Moorpark?" So this is a very serious question. I am so sorry if this is the same gentleman. Hello again, but we will look into this. Thank you. Great question.
You know what? I'm familiar with Dr. Conkey's actually because my son played baseball with the family that owns it, and at one point, I think they were burglarized at one point, and at one point it was going to close down, I thought, and then it came back, and anyway, it's kind of got this cult following. So if they're looking to expand, Moorpark's a great place.
Yeah,
because
we are open.
Yeah, let's go. We got plenty of spots to put you in. So that's great. I'm glad to see someone's watching on YouTube and has some questions out there. Guys, keep the questions coming because this interview is for you and about John. So if there's something you want to know, you just got to ask. But thank you for talking about, your upbringing, your background, growing up in Glendale, family-owned business, and growing up kind of in that environment, going to Pepperdine. let's dive into our very first actual question of the interview today. You built the Economic Development Division for the City of Moorpark from the ground up. What was the vision at the beginning, and how has that vision evolved over time?
That's a great question. Um, I remember when I first joined, first started at the City of Moorpark, I was like, okay, where do we start? Because really, it was I was the first economic development professional to be designated to work on economic development. Previously, it was different staff that would take the responsibilities, but now this is your one job, John. So where do I start? I remember I did a survey and we asked the business community, like, hey, what's the experience like opening a business in Moorpark? What are some concerns you have? What are needs? And I was disappointed for two reasons. One, we didn't get much feedback. I believe it was only like 15 businesses that responded. Mind you, we have 1,200 businesses in Moorpark. And those 15, not a single person talked about a positive experience when they opened in the city. And that's
Hmm.
something that staff knows. And the only reason we share it and we're transparent about it is because we've completely changed. We acknowledge it and we fix that. So the very first goal for our economic development programming was business retention. How can we support our businesses, provide them with the resources they need to succeed? And also, how can we improve so that we're more business friendly? In fact, how can we become the most business friendly city in the region? So that vision, and now to today, 4 years later, I mean, I'm pretty confident when I say I'm pretty sure we are the most business friendly city, not only in the county but in the region. So that those we built a strong foundation with the core functions. And if anyone doesn't know what economic development is, it could be very complicated, but think of three main topics. Business retention, how do we keep businesses here? Business attraction, how can we attract businesses? And think of this like marketing, entrepreneurial spirit of how can we like promote Moorpark to the community. Where is Moorpark? What is Moorpark? If someone thinks of Moorpark, what are they thinking of? So that third component to it. So now we've built that very strong foundation, and now our vision is more strategic. How can we incorporate more creative economic development programming, be more innovative? So we started with that core function. We addressed key issues. I think we're doing an incredible job. If my coworkers are on here, truly a shout out to them, shout out to our leadership, Doug Spondello, our community development director, for really getting us to this point. So our vision now has changed to being more creative, innovative, and strategic with specific programs.
Yeah. So it started 4 years ago for you.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. It's crazy to me, right? Because I've heard this a lot. I've heard that, and you hear it kind of everywhere. It's hard to do business in Moorpark. People say it's hard to do business in Thousand Oaks. I opened my school in 1996 was when I opened my brick and mortar, right? I started at a recreation center program at Arroyo Vista Recreation Center in 94, but then I opened the first location in 96. Ever since then, I mean, like, and maybe my business is just simple and super easy. I don't know. I've never really had to do a CUP, a conditional use permit, because I've always gone to where I was zoned to open up a martial arts school. And for the most part, like, it's always been pretty easy. Anything I had to do, again, maybe that was just my experience and because I kind of had my shit together a little bit more than some people, because at the end of the day, people like to blame other people for their problems. And this is what gets to me, because people are like, oh, well, the city's so hard and they charge so many fees and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, well, did you do your homework? Did you look these things up? Were you educated? Our business license or business registration is so much lower than everywhere else. Like, I think it's like $45 or something like that.
We're the only city in the county that has business registration. All the other ones are business licenses, so they're taxed based on either square footage or how much revenue they generate. So make more money, pay more. We have this one fixed fee for the renewal. So you're right, it could be the most affordable place to do business when it comes to business registrations or business licenses.
Yeah, and thank you for
But
explaining that. But I mean, like, guys, come on. I mean, you pay a flat fee. Real quick before I continue with my thought, I want to shout out Robert Perez. Thank you, Robert Perez. Another
thank you.
long time Moorpark resident, business owner, entrepreneur, leader, school board member. What else do you do, Robert? Everything. But what is Robert? What is your experience? Because I know that you've opened locations here in Moorpark. You've moved around a little bit. You've done some things. So talk about your experience and give us some feedback. And then Jackie is watching. And she says, as business owners and homeowners who have raised their kids here, we are so grateful to you, John, and your coworkers for carrying out a lovely vision for our family and so many others to thrive and enjoy local.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we have raised our kids here and we have built a business that has been our livelihood, what supports our family for the last 30 plus years. And it's in partnership with people like you, the City of Moorpark, the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce, and all the organizations that we work with. I mean, at the end of the day, we live in Moorpark, this beautiful small town community. I don't know what it's like to do business in LA because I've never had a business in LA. I don't know what it's like to be in, right? And I mean, we have 40, I think we're 45, 46,000. The two signs say something different, by the way. The one over by Collins says 45, I think, and the one coming in into Tierra Hutta says 46, or that's the other way around. Anyway, but we're right in between there. We're a nice little small town. It has been amazing. Here's Robert again. The City of Moorpark has been great. I had a vision, and Moorpark made it a reality. And for someone who has made Moorpark their home, having businesses in other cities as well, that speaks highly of us and of you, John. But going back, it's just the last 4 years have only gotten better, and I do truly believe that Moorpark is it's got to be one of the easiest places to do business because there's not necessarily a lot of red tape. It's just a matter of kind of education. Our mayor, Chris Enegren, talks a lot about when he opened Enegren Brewing Company and some of the challenges he had at the time. And the reason he got involved was because he's like, well, F this. I'm going to make some changes and have a say so. And that's what I think is really important in any community is if you got a challenge, if you've got an issue, quit bitching from the side. Get on the field and play the game instead of, coaching from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're right. But I do want to add one component, though. I think it's very fair to. I'm trying to think what's the best way to word it. Sometimes because we're professionals, this is what we deal with here at the city or any local government employee. We know our planning review process. We know what that planning permitting process looks like. So it's very easy for us to assume that the applicant knows what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So I do want to share that there is that component that does exist where we just think that, or we assume that everything, mm-hmm. and that's usually where that gap is in local government or where that customer service lacks because we assume that the person in front of us knows what we're talking about. For us, it's like, yeah, it's just a 2-month, 3-month process, but for them, they're like, well, what are you doing? I see two coworkers talking over there. So there's that component to it. I love that you said red tape because we have this internal motto here, our mantra, and it's roll up the red tape, roll out the red carpet. And we really embrace that. I think us keeping in mind that the person in front of us might not know everything. So we really need to maybe dumb things down sometimes and explain it to it like they're our friend. And instead of looking at them as an applicant, look at them as a partner. And same thing for us. Instead of thinking of ourselves as regulators, think of ourselves as partners. How can I make this possible? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll get a question and the answer is no, but what we talk about internally here is, okay, it might be a no, but how can we get it to a yes? Hey, the way you want to do it is not permitted, but have you thought of this, or is there any other component? And then maybe it is permitted. So I think it's very easy to sometimes even blame the applicant, but I think ownership and accountability and that reflection is really important. And we do a really good job here in Moorpark reflecting how could I have done, what could I do better, or what could we done better? Mm-hmm. Outcome is greater than process. I see Doug writing that exactly, and that's really what he's taught us here. We always have that in our heads.
I love it. Well, and how many cities talk about customer service, right? Because I'm reading this from Doug, and I'm thinking every city, every organization, they've got their process, and it's just like that's the way it's always been, and
Yep.
that's probably one of my least favorite things to hear is that's the way it's always been done. Well, if that isn't the best way to do it, why are we still doing it that way? But we get caught up in the process. But you said we need to focus on customer service. How many cities look at their businesses as customers and giving customer service? I love the, roll up the red tape and roll out the red carpet. You guys do a great job. And I have to just really shout you out, John, because you're kind of the face of that a lot of the times is you go out of your way when a new business opens up. I mean, you've got Discover More Park that you're pumping and promoting them. Ribbon cuttings come out and you're there and you're introducing everybody to everybody. How many cities do that? I don't know because I don't have another business in another city, but I know that that is special and that is unique here for us in Moorpark.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that we do have that excellent customer service, and I know I get a lot of credit for it because I'm out in the community. But at ribbon cuttings, what people don't see is we have, for example, Kathy Priestley, who does the business registrations for every single business. We celebrated over 20 years of doing business here in the city. I mean, working for the city. We have our front counter team, the person that calls, does the initial phone call, and Megan picks up and delivers that excellent customer service and routes them to Blake, who will assist with planning needs, and then Phil. I mean, there's so many people, and I'm so sorry I like totally left out everyone else's name, but so many.
We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
We'll get to them, but so many people touch the applications, touch the process that are involved in that process, and all it takes is one person to deliver bad customer service, and that's it. Like the business owner or homeowner or whoever is working with us at the counter will have a bad image or bad experience with Moorpark. All it takes is one bad encounter. So really, it's truly teamwork. I could show up at the ribbon cutting and be happy and introduce everyone, but if that business owner had a terrible experience with everyone else, then there's no point to what I am doing. So it's really this collaborative effort.
Well, I got to say too, it's been a very nice change of pace and literally change of scenery to walk into City Hall now versus last year when you walk
Yeah,
into that
literally.
whatever that the shack that you walk into, and and the front desk seems to be a little bit friendlier too. We've got some young, fresh staff that seem to be excited to be there. I will say that it wasn't always necessarily that way, but we got a great. Listen, that first face you see when you walk in the door, that's going to kind of make or break the first impression
Absolutely,
for
very
someone.
important.
And I think that there's just a fresh new look, fresh new faces, and a fresh new feel. So I'm absolutely loving it. Let's dive into this next question. When people hear economic development, they often think big corporations. How does your work directly impact small businesses and families in the community?
Great question. Um, we love our large employers, our big businesses here in Moorpark. Don't get me wrong. And I always tell a business whenever they talk about, oh, big companies, XYZ, I'm like, well, this big company was a small company at one time. And you might be opening a restaurant today, but I do hope I see your 100th store ribbon cutting too. Like that's also successful. But people tend to forget that small businesses are truly the fabric of the community. 78%, around 78% of Moorpark businesses employ 9 or fewer employees. So that's a big portion of our community. We have around 1,200 businesses here in the city, and around 700 of those, 750 of those are commercial-based businesses, so an actual storefront or an industrial space. Very important to make sure that these businesses have the resources they need to succeed. With a larger company, you might have more resources available to you, access to more resources. You could easily call an attorney, ask them a legal question. But for a small business, as you might know, owning two businesses, it might be more challenging to have access to these resources. So it's very important that the city provides these resources, is an access point, and every business knows that they could call the city, and we are really there to advocate for them. I mean, Jason, kind of reflecting on you. I mean, you always talk about other people having a lot of hats, but you wear a lot of hats. First, doing this podcast, previous chair of the Moorpark Chamber of Commerce, own two businesses, previous commissioner here at City of Moorpark. If people tuned into your last podcast, you did the Citizens Academy. You're currently in the Ventura County Leadership Academy. List goes on and on. But when owning a business, I mean, I don't expect, it's very challenging for you to sit down every single day. What grants available for me today, or what resources available for me today? What grants closing today? So really important for you to be able to know that, hey, I could call the City of Moorpark. I pay business registrations to get access to these services, and get that support that you need. Have any question, grant related, hiring. Hey, someone fell down at work. I don't know what to do. There's a legal free hotline that you could call. So making sure that our business communities know that, especially small businesses who don't have access to these resources, is really essential to their success. And I mean, again, like, you're supporting when you shop at this local small business, you're supporting the person that they also employ, local jobs. That money goes into sales tax. We generate around $5 million in sales tax revenue. That goes into improving parks and local streets and lights and graffiti removal, public safety, fire. I mean, all these services come from supporting a small business. So it's truly important to support small businesses as well.
Well, and I think you guys do an amazing job of providing those resources, but not only providing the resources, but providing the education and putting it out there to let us know that it is available, and I think that that's very, very helpful. It's funny, a friend of mine, Josh Arsamont, big shout out to him, really good friend, great martial artist. He posted today, small business is the heartbeat of America. Because of small business, a little girl can take ballet lessons. Because of small business, a single mom can put food on the table. Because of small business, someone's pain gets treated, their car gets fixed, their problem gets solved. Because of small business, people get to create, they get to contribute, they get to matter. I love small businesses for two reasons. First, it's small, it's personal, it's intimate. You know names, you know stories, you know the people you're serving. Second, it's creative, it's inspirational, and at its best, it's transformational. And I just, like, as you were saying all of that, I kept thinking of this post that came up. I had to look it up real quick, and I thought that was so important. So Josh, thank you for always posting such great information out there on social media, and I truly respect and admire you for posting that. Also, let's put this up here, and just for giggles, right? Jackie wants to know, but can we get a Trader Joe's? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I love that.
It's hilarious. Hey, let's take a quick break, take a quick breath, get a sip of water, John, and let's promote one of our sponsors and supporters of the show, and also one of our businesses here in Moorpark. This is Insurance Brokers West. Hey guys, that's my good friend Daniel Groff, an amazing community member, did so much here in Moorpark. Insurance Brokers West, for all your insurance needs, give them a call and they will help you out. Daniel, shout out to you. Thanks for all your support, bud. Back to John Bandek with the City of Moorpark and the Economic Development. I'm Jason Flame, Master Motivation Podcast. If you're watching and you're still here live and you haven't shared this video, shame on you, because everybody needs to hear what John is talking about today. So share the video and go to Master Motivation Podcast on YouTube, and please subscribe. Let's dive into the next question, John. Let's talk about the 50 or more businesses that you've helped attract and expand across multiple industries. What separates communities that win those opportunities from ones that miss out?
Great question. Something that we're really good at here in Moorpark is being efficient and innovative. And I think that's really a component that most communities might fail at. But we're really successful because of that. We're always innovative. We're always thinking, how can we be more efficient? How can we streamline processes? So that's one component. I think another component is really establishing relationships that are really meaningful, like real relationships with people. We're not working with an applicant. We're working with someone that's risking their savings for the betterment of the community. You're talking about someone that has a family, has multiple employees, or even a few employees. Those are lives and jobs, and that's income, and they live based off of that. So establishing a relationship with people and realizing that I'm talking to a person, I'm talking to someone that has a family, or even if they don't have a family, this is a human being. Very important. That personal touch is very important. Something that we do here is every business gets a handwritten card from our team, signed by our team, saying with our business cards, they know who to contact. Welcome to Moorpark. We're so proud of what you've done. We look forward to your business's continued success. Feel free to reach out anytime. Whenever a business is meeting with us here at City Hall, we have their um, business's name on our TV screen in the lobby saying welcome, and then business's name. I mean, it's these small things that aren't taught, aren't required in job descriptions, that really take things above and beyond, even though it's a small act. So I think most communities might not, it might fail because they're not thinking of these small acts of kindness or relationship building, or taking that extra step to call a business. Hey, I saw on the news you're opening a second location in another city. Congratulations, so proud of you. Like, can you imagine, like 3 years ago you were opening your first ever business here in Moorpark? So having that above and beyond step. And I think the third component is really like timeliness. Time is money when it comes to business, and it shows that you're respecting the business's time. You value their time, both whenever it comes to getting back to them or actually working on whatever you're working on. Showing them that urgency is very important, and we're really good at that here. So I would say being innovative, efficient, be a human, real, meaningful communication, and be have this like urgency when it comes to local government. It's okay. We could be in a little bit of a rush. We don't need to lay back and take things easy all the time. Like we could have that rush. So I think those components really make a successful, make a community successful.
And I love the fact that we do have these, these personal connections, but also, understanding how important the relationship. You keep mentioning the relationship, the partnership, and it's so crucial that the city of Moorpark continues to provide that, and it's only getting better. But think about this in your own business. In your own business, no matter whether you're a martial arts school, you're a jewelry store, you're a restaurant, that customer experience. We talk about the customer experience a lot. I like to read a lot. I read a book about the Disney experience. The magic of Disney,
Yeah.
and what an amazing book to read, because everything that Disneyland does is intentional. And listen, they're a business just like any of us, but the experience is what keeps you coming back. Every business wants to keep their customers coming back. They want to gain new customers, and ultimately, they want to increase the value of each customer along the way. And I mean, that's what the city's doing. That's what we're doing in our business. That's what Disney does. But it all comes down to the experience and the relationships that we are reinforcing each and every opportunity that we can.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that Jackie asked about Trader Joe's, because if you think about it, I mean, it's a grocery store, right? Whenever you go to Vaughn's, Ralph's, or I mean, I don't want to name brands, but like if you go to any general grocery store, most likely at the checkout, they're not asking you like, "Hey, how's your day?" or "Hey, I see that you have spaghetti and a marinara sauce, and oh, what are you doing?" or "Oh, this is a big meal, have family over." Like Trader Joe's does that. And while you might be maybe someone's an introvert and they're like, okay, I don't like this, but that is part of the Trader Joe's experience. Like it or not, it's someone interacting with you, asking you questions, making you feel valued. And I think that's part of their experience, why people like going back to Trader Joe's. Yeah, it could be products, it could be marketing and all that. But that's also part of that customer experience that they offer that most grocery stores don't necessarily offer. So how can you set yourself apart? I think the easiest way a business could set themselves apart is that customer experience. The second that someone walks into your door, welcoming them. If you're a business owner, ask them like, "Hey, how did you hear about my business?" Or "Thank you so much. I noticed this is your first time here." Or I mean, like there's just like these little things that will get someone to come back. So regardless if you're a city or a business, it's these things that really elevate that experience. So it's a great point about Disney as well.
So you mean you actually have to pay attention to what's going on? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, whoa.
Right? I mean, some people,
Crazy
you
concept.
walk in and everything is a transaction, right?
Yeah.
And that transactional experience is just so cold, so blah, so short-lived. But flip that and start really paying attention to details and watch your business change.
Yeah.
You've conducted over 500 business visits. What are some common challenges that business owners share that city leaders don't always hear about publicly?
And when we say city leaders, for example, like council or
I think city leaders. I think really they're talking about people like you and Doug and people that are
yeah.
making decisions.
I was gonna say, because if it's about council, something really good about Moorpark is they're really involved. Our council's really involved with the business community, so they already have a good feel and understanding of what the needs are in our business communities.
All,
I think
all
when
but all but one own a business, right?
correct.
So
4 out of 5 council members are business owners.
yeah.
So they have that business mindset. Even then, the fifth council member that does not own a business has the business mindset, business oriented. So uh, council gets it. One of 3 council goals is economic development. So whenever it comes to Moorpark City Council, no question, they already have a good understanding of our business community. I think one of the things that was kind of shocking whenever I first started doing business visits, and when I still do them 4 years later, I'm still hearing the same thing. Whenever I go to a business, hey, we're here, government's here to help. People are like, whoa, what's going on? Or oh, I paid my business registration. I'm like, well, no, I'm not here for your business registration. Or well, I fixed that code. Like I'm like, oh, okay, no, I'm here to support you. So it's very, I mean, and it's not unique to Moorpark. I did business visits in Glendale, and I think every economic development professional shares this. It's that it's kind of sad, like when you go to a business and you're there from the city and they say like, hey, by the way, I was here for 30 years and you're the first person from the city to come and ask how I'm doing. Or so that's always a shock. And it's always kind of good whenever it makes you not only feel good, but it like reporting back to the city.
Mhm.
The city now knows like, okay, we are in the right direction, we should continue doing this is important. So that's always something that I face when I'm doing a business visit. That's always like, oh,
Yeah, I know.
no,
They're like, wait, I paid my fees. I got everything in, and you're
yeah,
like,
like
no, I'm
they're
just
like
here. I come bearing gifts.
yeah, yeah, they're like, so why are you here? Like, I'm here to help you. They're like, sure you are.
So here's something that people may not know. Before local government, you managed a hospital emergency department, right? Is that right?
Yes.
How did you experience? How did that experience shape your leadership style and your decision making?
It's and like it's sometimes I'm like, John, that was crazy. I can't believe. I sometimes forget about it, and it's a wild experience. But I'm very thankful that I had that experience. I think I've learned. There are many things that I've learned or continue to do because of that experience. Prompt, accurate communication is number one. I mean, one small mess up in a hospital can cost someone's life. So making sure that communication is accurate, prompt is key, especially in local government. Government tends to have this like lack of urgency sometimes. So here, whenever I'm like quick, 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 fast, 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 you get more done, and you kind of bring that spirit with you to the environment you're working in. So that's something that I've learned. I think the human connection, like compassion, empathy, those are key components when it comes to an emergency room. That could literally save a life just by having that compassion. And we're not doing life-saving work here, but I mean, this people's lives are on the line whenever they're investing their time and money and opening a business or hiring another employee or expanding or relocating. These are big decisions. Like people, it's crazy to think about that, but leading with compassion is very key, and that's definitely something that I've learned from the hospital. And one of my key functions in the emergency room was really to like translate chaos and streamline it and make it simple and easy. I had the opportunity with my last role in the emergency room to essentially manage all transfers, all incoming patients, patients that are transferring to outpatient, all the nurses, like all the paperwork that the nurses had to fill out, hand to me. Like it would just be this stack. Our phone had like 32 lines. It was like three different phones, and they were almost all on hold. And like I had to call, like it was crazy. So I think experiencing that craziness and now coming here where my phone hasn't rang yet. Well, I have it on silent, but it gives you that like need for urgency, that need for, okay, my phone didn't ring today. Why? Like I'm doing something wrong, and which is not the case. But I have this mindset that's kind of drilled in my head now. Like I should be doing more, and sometimes it's bad because you're just continue. Like there should be a stop sometimes, but I appreciate that experience because it's motivated me to do more and want to do more. And I still feel like sometimes when I'm walking around, I think a coworker once told me like, "John, you walk too fast." But I think it's because of that.
You do walk a little fast.
I do. And one would think like I would look better if I walked this fast, but I walk fast, you know. So and then that's from there, that sense of urgency. So there's many components from that experience. While it was wild, I've learned a lot, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, to compare working in an emergency room in a hospital to, local government economic development, but for you to talk about, compassion and empathy truly speaks to why your relationship with people in our city is so great, because you have that compassion, you have that empathy, you understand how business owners think and feel, and that's very noticeable. Daniel just chimed in. Good morning, Daniel. Well, good afternoon for you. Hello, John and Jason. John has been an amazing addition to the City of Moorpark and has been instrumental in building a strong relationship between business owners, businesses, and the city. Thank you, Daniel, for checking in.
Thank you. And I know I talked about, sorry, just really quickly, Jason,
Yeah.
I know I talked about our current council, but council member Groff at the time was on our previous city council and was instrumental to creating the economic development position and making it a council goal. So I also appreciate that.
One of the most one of the smartest business people I know, but also one thing I love about Daniel is if you know his license plate, take risk. That dude takes more risk than anybody else. He's got, agencies all over the country, always busy, always moving, always thinking, and always the person that when I have a question about business, I'm going to him because he's got the answers. But again, Daniel, thank you for being on today. Couple more questions for you, John. For entrepreneurs, business owners, or young professionals listening, what advice would you give to those who want to play a bigger role in shaping their local economy?
Great question. I don't think many people know about economic developers or economic development, truly. Most of the time, people are asking me, "So, what do you do?" And my own family still doesn't know what I do. So it's really hard to really hard to explain. So my first advice would be if the economic development team, which most likely in another city has not reached out to you, which is very possible, reach out to them, because we could get very busy. We cannot reach out to every single business. We try our best to make ourselves known, but if you do not know what an economic developer is or what economic development is, literally go on Google, search your city name, economic development, call the first thing that comes up. It might be a chamber, which is a great resource. It might be an economic development organization, like a nonprofit, great resource, or it might be the city or county that you work in. Thank you for the kind words. So that's the first, like that's truly the number one advice that I would give is reach out, because there's so many resources out there, and sometimes it breaks my heart because I'm like, why did no one from Moorpark apply for this? You could have gotten this grant. You could have taken advantage of this resource. So number one, reach out to your chamber, economic development organization, your city, ask for those resources. And number two, don't give up. I mean, working with businesses, seeing them start and then seeing them at the ribbon cutting, I think the number one goal for anyone working in a job or a business or whoever you are, I think one thing that I really value is grit. And like having grit is truly important. Don't let things stop you. Continue going full force. You're unstoppable. Um, Truly, like you should have that mindset. Even if you're not like as strong as you think you are, think that you're strong, and I think that that mindset will allow you to truly succeed. So I would tell businesses, business owners, don't give up, don't stop. I mean, you're doing things that no one else like has the guts to do. So you're already doing better. So don't stop. Don't yeah.
Well, you know me, mindset is very important in everything, right? It's I mean, as a martial artist, you know, mind over matter, gets you through a lot, and having that grit. Um, I think you're a little younger than I am, but you know, people talk about the younger generation not having that grit, and I don't fully believe that. I think that that's kind of a cop out. I mean, I think every generation has kind of looked at the next generation and said, "Oh, these kids are soft," you know, and it's like, but I see more younger people out there, you know, doing new things, trying new things, and like you said, starting a business. I mean, starting a business alone takes so much grit, so much guts, so much like you're entering like almost an unknown sometimes because you know to have a job that's secure and stable, and it's very different to go and own your own business. I mean, you're working 24/7, 365. The first couple of years are super, you know, super rough for a lot of people. And at the end of the day, right, your grit is going to help you fight through. But I always remind people too, like, why are you doing what you're doing? Because if you can stay focused on why you're doing what you're doing and your vision and your passion, man, everything else seems to kind of flow just a little bit easier. Am I right?
Yeah, and Jason, what I say to people that think that way, you might be right, but what are you doing about it? If you truly think that younger generation are not as they don't have that grit, they don't have that ambition and drive, well, show someone that ambition and drive. Mentor someone, say, "Hey, I think you have a lot of potential. Come under my wing. Like, let me show you the potential that you have." So I believe in that. Like, okay, so what are you doing about it? Yeah, you could. You have this problem. What are you doing about it? Build the things that you want to see. So if someone believes that our generation or the younger generation doesn't have that motivation, and it might be true. Well, okay, so what are you doing about it? So go mentor someone. Go show them the potential they have, and that's what I would say.
I love that, John. That's, I mean, so if people are still listening to this right now, that's something I think that we can all learn a little bit more from. Is, you know, if you got a problem, what are you doing about it? If you don't like what you see, what are you doing about it? You know, and mentoring people. I mean, I can't reinforce that strongly enough because I mean, I have 3 year olds that I start training, and I'm talking to them about having discipline and being motivated and going for your goals like at 3 years old, you know, and so yeah, take them under your wing and show them the way. It's you know, it's one thing to tell somebody how to do something, it's another thing to show them how to do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So looking ahead, John, what excites you most about the future of Moorpark and the broader region over the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, I something I'm very proud of is we have this economic development strategic plan. And usually like when you tell someone, "Hey, we have this 84-page document," like that's not really attractive or no one really wants to look at it. But truly, we have maybe one of the best economic development strategic plans, I want to say, in California. I know it's crazy talk right now, but truly, we have something that is very, very tailored to our community. We don't have a cookie cutter economic development strategy. Ours like I worked on two economic development strategies. I built one for the city of Glendale, and then I worked on one here at the city of Moorpark. And hey, Sean, sorry. So at the city of Glendale, it was the city's first ever economic development strategic plan, and I worked on it. It was like a passion project, honestly. I said, "Hey, we don't have one. Let's do this." They said, "Okay, great. It's your project now." Um, I was trying to figure out what are components in an economic development strategy, like what should be included in this, and whatever other cities had, I included. But here in Moorpark, we did the complete opposite. We said, okay, so what is not in these strategies that we should look at? And we looked at so many cool things. We looked at mobile devices at city events, like how many mobile devices were on High Street at this specific city event, and where did these mobile devices originate from? Did they come in from CME? Did they come in from a different county? and really getting those insights. I mean, cities don't typically do that type of
Yeah, that's
research.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, confidential, very safely done. But I mean, these are things that we don't really think about as cities. Another thing that I did was look at patent activity. We don't have more patents than other cities, but each patent is connected to the inventors, the city that they live in, or the company they work in. And we saw that a majority of the patents that were made by inventors that live in Moorpark or businesses that are in Moorpark are in advanced manufacturing. Specifically, aerospace, drones, auto parts, motorcycle parts, helicopter parts, and technologies, which is crazy for a small town population. Again, as you said, around 36,000, 37,000 numbers vary, but a small town Moorpark has a lot of big business. So now that we know this, like we knew this, but we didn't know the company names, we didn't know. So we have this information now, and we're not just letting our strategic plan sit on a shelf. We're taking this and we're really being strategic with what does economic development look like for Moorpark in the next 5 years, and that's what our 5 year plan will address. We have a lot of exciting next level, like really putting Moorpark on the map initiatives. So I'm super excited to be really leading that effort. This year we have shout out to Janine Lugo. She's a management analyst with our economic development team. Our economic development team is now 2 people. This is a big deal for a small city. Usually it's like one individual. I think in the county where the only 3 cities have more than one economic development person. So super excited to be working with her. She's super intelligent, super smart, creative. So I think putting both of our ideas together, we're really gonna have really successful, fun projects in the next 5 years.
Well, that's very exciting and very exciting for Moorpark. I'm going to add one more because I want to know personally for you, John, right? Economic development aside, put the job aside for just a second. What are you looking for, or what are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? What are your goals for 2026? Personal goals.
I used to not really like New Year's because it's like, okay, you could just do this change whenever you want throughout the
Right.
year. You don't have to wait for a date. But I'm really taking advantage of this new year and really growth mindset. Always want to help others and grow others. But 2026, not going to be selfish, but it's kind of going to be like a year to grow myself and be better, whether it's mentally, health wise, like learning, like continued like learning more. So I think that growth mindset of how can I'm always thinking of how can I make someone better and help them be better, but I need to help myself be better first. So that's my 2026 goal. How can I be the best version of myself?
The year of John.
Here, John.
Well, hey, anything I can do to help you in those areas, you know where to find me. I would love to have you come join us on the mat sometime and, hit the
Uh-oh.
pads. You would probably love to hit the pads a little bit after, maybe a long day at work. I don't know, but
Well, you showed me the
yeah,
right way to do it, remember? So we'll
that's
have to
right.
retest them. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, hey, it's been great having you on the show, talking, all things Moorpark, but I really got to know a lot more about you and your background. And I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited to watch you reach your goals in 2026. Thank you, everybody. Lots of you watching and comments, and just joining in one more time. Please share the video. Continue your comments if you have questions for John. John, how can people connect with you, not only on the City of Moorpark, but if they want to kind of connect on a personal level, where can they find you?
Absolutely. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm happy to provide that information. I don't know how I can do that right now, but check out my LinkedIn. It's just my name, John Bandek. That would be the best way to connect with me. If you are a business in Moorpark, call City Hall, ask for economic development. We'd love to help you. But yeah, I'm approachable, reachable. I also thank you for this opportunity to be on here. I think that's part of the growth mindset. Watching all the past podcasts, now being on one, that's you're already checking that off. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everyone that's tuned in to watch and support. It means a lot.
Yeah, well, thanks again for being on the show. You're welcome to post any of your links in the comments after you watch the video. I'll send you a link of the video as well, but
Awesome.
whether it's LinkedIn or phone numbers, contact information. But guys, that's it for today. Appreciate y'all being here. I'll be back next week with another guest. I have a local community member, Matt Migalena, who dude, this guy's a nut. He runs like 50-mile races and 100-mile races and hikes the mountains in all these different countries. I can't wait to hear about his training and his stories. So guys, don't miss that one, and connect with John, and have a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks,
Likewise.
John.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys.